So if you've got an existing single pane set of windows, single pane aluminum frame, put in your house in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, first of all, most of them have single strength, 1/60th of an inch thick glass, which with any tool, bam, smash the glass, climb into your house. That's not a good thing. In fact, if you want to know how much strength you have in your window, just do a push on it and see how much it flexes. You can see on this one, it hardly moves. This is a dual pane, double strength safety glass, but we'll get to that later. The other thing, anyone with a pry bar or screwdriver can literally push it underneath your existing window frame, pry up, lift it up, and move the window out of the way and climb into your house. The locks were pretty bad. There are a lot of issues with locks that needed to be turned down in order for your window to be locked. And so people, they would have their windows open, they're going out, they close the window, forget to turn the lock down, and your window is basically not locked, and then someone just comes along and just opens it and just helps themselves in. Screens obviously are not going to keep anybody out, so not a very good situation for security. Many years ago, the window manufacturers were all asked to upgrade their security features, and they all have to comply now with the forced entry code for California, and that gives you much more security. Some of the changes, some of the great changes to Windows that are very different from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s Windows are, and there's a multitude of them, but you could just take a pry bar and put it under the window and just lift it up and move it out. Part of the forced entry code, manufacturers now have to put in these anti-lift clips in the vent part of the window that shortens the frame so that if you actually put a pry bar in here and try and lift up, you can't get the vent panel to come up over the frame, and you cannot get it out no matter how hard you try. If you want to take it out for cleaning purposes, you open it up over here, and then you can lift it up and it will come up and over the frame. You can clean both sides and put it back in. Fresh air vent stops have been added, as you can see here. These vent stops will allow you to open your window so that you can get fresh air coming in. Maybe if you want to sleep with your windows a little open at night, but still nobody can open the window and they still can't get it up and over the track. One of the other significant changes is positive action locks. So when you actually close your window, turn a handle down and lock it. Close the window, boom, it's locked. Now you've got much better security. The most wonderful part about all of the changes of the forced entry code is that most of the security features are hidden. They're hidden within the working parts of the window. So for people who have maybe bars on their windows, people being able to break in, once those bars have been taken off and you put in these new windows, all of the new features are within the frame. With doors, for example, you have multi-point locking systems now where when you close your door, you turn the handle up on a door and you will have four places of locks that secure you into the threshold, the other door, and to the top frame, as opposed to just a single handle that if anybody puts a credit card in there and opens the door, they can get into your house. That's not the case anymore. But all of these things create better aesthetics, and many of our customers don't put their security bars back on afterwards because they feel much safer with the new windows. Over the last 30 years of us installing windows, we've had many customers in many different areas that have security bars on the outside of their house for different reasons. And after us installing new dual pane energy efficient windows with all of the forced entry code upgrades, they feel much safer to not put those security bars back on the house, which aren't aesthetically pleasing. I will say, depending on where you live, that's a personal choice. Depends on how you feel about your neighborhood, but many customers of ours have felt very safe by not putting those bars back up.